Interior Jag, mountainside, track, day. Effortless sunlight, an amateur photographer's day. Marwood and Withnail are in the process of salvaging the Jag.
You were the one who wanted to leave.
You were the one who wanted to stay.
Well, we can't. You saw him. He practically kissed me.
All right. We'll get the lunch down, and afterwards I'll have a word with him, and we'll leave.
Monty appears from the house with a teasing remonstration.
You foolish boys. What on earth possessed you to bring a car up here?
He starts waving his arms about, points to a parking spot.
Get it over there, and we'll travel in the rolls.
Oh, hang on. Got this one.
Oh, good. I don't know that thing, that bit there.
No, that's not. That's a new scene as well.
Yeah.
Exterior country road, day. With Charlie Cutton supplying the music, the roller winds down a hill. Boys in the back and the Monty driving. A small country town appears in the distance.
I do think you could have shaved. What on earth will people think of me turning up with you two? You look like a pair of farmhands.
Exterior Market Square, Penrith, day. Surprise from the locals as everyone gets out. Withnail and Marwood with their dishevelled appearance. Monty with his watch and waistcoat and radish in his lapel.
Again.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Residents actually stop and stare.
Oh, this is most embarrassing. Let's get away from the car.
Beetling off, he crosses the square with them following. Monty breaks and a wallet comes out. A pair of crisp blue notes are dispersed. He shoves a glance towards the Penrith tea rooms.
Buy some Wellingtons, and I'm going to buy some razors and shaving soaps. And I'll see you over there in half an hour.
And off he fucks. Marwood examines the loot as Withnail arrives.
Pair of blues, one each.
Withnail flexes his fiver and is infused with a sudden inspiration.
I think a drink, don't you?
What about the Wellingtons?
Bollocks for the Wellingtons.
They cross the cobbles heading towards King Henry's public house.
We'll tell him we had a farmers' conference and had a run on them.
Interior King Henry's pub, saloon bar, day. A dingy little establishment. Withnail sits alone at the bar in front of a pair of half-drunk pints. His eyes study a mirror reflecting Marwood making a telephone call halfway down a hallway. The receiver goes down and Marwood reappears, looking despondent.
As another thing, apparently they're still seeing people.
You don't want to go to Manchester anyway. Play a bloody soldier.
Don't I? Damn well do. It's a damn good little theatre.
Yeah, not much of a part though, is it?
Better than nothing.
They make you cut your hair off.
So what, you lose a leg?
Withnail finishes his pint. The barman informs them. Time, gents.
All right, we're going to have to work quickly. A pair of quadruple whiskies and another pair of pints, please.
Exterior Market Square, Penrith, day. Speed of consumption has affected speed of inebriation. Withnail shuffles up the pavement. A lack of Monty produces indignation.
Where is he? I'm utterly arsehole.
We're early.
He nods towards the tea rooms on the other side of the square.
We want to get in there, don't we? Eat some cake, soak up the booze.
Interior Penrith tea rooms, day. A bell on a spring clatters above their heads. All eyes turn in their direction. Not an eyeball in here under 70. Maybe 5 or 6 ladies eating dainty little cakes with dainty little forks. The place is dainty, decorated like one of its iced and juju numbers in the window. An old woman in an apron approaches as Withnail gestures towards a gingham cloth table.
All right here?
What do you want?
Cake. All right here?
Clearly a pair of drunken dustmen, she shows considerable courage.
No, we're closing in a minute.
We're leaving in a minute.
They sit down and Withnail studies the menu. An old man with a neck lagged in bandage like the top of a boiler glares at him. Withnail ignores him and pokes a finger at the afternoon teas.
We'll have cake and tea.
The boiler gets up, bouncing up on his walking stick.
Didn't you hear? She said she's closed.
Insubordination, and the boiler approaches red of face.
What do you want in here?
Cake. What's it going to do with you?
I happen to be the proprietor. Now, would you leave?
I'm glad you're the proprietor. I was going to have a word with you anyway. We're working on this film up here. Location, see? We might want to do a film in here.
You're drunk.
Just bring out the cakes.
cake and fine wine.
This is a desperate situation, but the old woman has a solution.
If you don't leave, we'll call the police.
A threat that brings a flutter of agreement from the feathers and the hats and the pugs on Leeds faction.
Balls. We want the finest wines available to humanity. We want them here and we want them now.
Miss Bellencrist, telephone the police.
Blennerhassett. So good.
Blennerhassett. Miss Blennerhassett, telephone the police.
Alright, Miss Blennerhassett, I'm warning you, if you do, you're fired. We'll buy this place and fire you immediately. We're multi-millionaires.
Marwood and Withnail rise to their feet and the boiler steps back.
Yes, we'll buy this place and we'll get a fucking jukebox in here. Liven all you stiffs up a bit.
The police, Miss Blennerhassett.
She goes about it, fumbles nervously with the phone, bit of chat from the hats and pugs.
Vagabonds. They won't like the police. Just say there are 2 drunks in the Penrith tea rooms and we want them removed.
We're not drunks, we're multi-millionaires.
Hurry up, Mabs. We'll keep them here till they arrive.
Seems like he's going to bolt the door, a whispered explanation.
You keep them talking.
He won't keep us anywhere. We'll buy this place and have it knocked down.
Just as Mab says,
Police, please.
a limousine arrives outside.
Don't bother, our car has arrived. We're going.
Eyes alternate between them and the car as they reach the door.
But we'll be back. We're coming back in here.
The boiler and the old woman and the old ladies with the feathers and dogs on leads watch in amazement as Withnail and Marwood stagger out and slump in the back of an immaculate Rolls Royce. Interior.
Hang on.
We're coming back in here.
Interior, living room, cottage, day. The lamb is sizzling to perfection. Withnail draws air over his teeth, closes the oven door. Marwood appears from the kitchen, washed and shaved and drying his hair.
Where is he?
Sulking up the hill. He says he won't come in for lunch without an apology.
Suits me. He can eat his fucking radish.
That makes sense now. That makes sense.
They sit in front of the fire. Marwood cracks a bottle. He's filling the glasses when a voice hisses petulantly in his ear.
It's all your fault.
Monty straightens up with an expression of teasing indignation.
You led him astray.
I beg your pardon, Monty.
Oh, don't tell me you're not aware of it. I know what you're up to, and so do you.
Withnail stands with the bottle, fills a glass and proffers it.
Sherry? Oh dear, no, no, no. I'd be sucked into his trap. One of us has got to stay on guard. He's so mauve. We don't know what he's planning.
Marwood's expression makes it clear that if Withnail participates in this particular attack, he will be lunching alone. Withnail doesn't participate, and Marwood escapes into the kitchen.
Nice.
Interior kitchen, cottage, day. Al Bowley scratching in the background.
Yes.
Marwood is at the sink peeling potatoes. Monty joins him at the time ready bowl with his beans. Arsehole on sherry and enjoying himself.
I'm preparing myself to forgive you.
And he closes on him with an intimate whisper.
I think you've been punished enough. I think we'd better release you from the legumes and transfer your talent to the meat.
Clasping his hand, Monty heads for the living room. Marwood manages to pull away and exchange it for another nervous smile.
You shouldn't treat each other so badly. The boys out here, frozen to the marrow, and you just sitting here drinking.
Monty manoeuvres Marwood to the fire and readdresses Withnail.
Now come along. He's going to revitalise himself, and you're going to finish the vegetables.
I don't know how to do them.
Of course you don't. You're incapable of indulging in anything but pleasure. Am I not right?
Monty misinterprets Marwood's smile as protection of Withnail.
You don't deserve such loyalty.
Withnail is prized to his feet and escorted into the kitchen.
Come along. I'm going to teach you how to peel a potato.
Monty rolls Withnail's sleeves up, Marwood staring after him. The geography of the room dissipates through a slow dissolve. Interior living room, cottage, day. Withnail has shaved and they are halfway through lunch. Monty is going at it with a will. He empties the bottle of wine and dispatches Withnail into the kitchen for a replacement. Despite a monstrous gobful of food, he manages to smile upon Marwood. It's reciprocated, not because he sees anything to smile at, but because embarrassment forces him to. Monty's stares are hard enough to itch. Marwood looks relieved when Withnail reappears with a bottle of wine.
Isn't it stimulating getting back to a basic sort of life for a while?
Yes.
His fork plunges into a roast potato almost before he sits down.
Surrounded by trees and nature, one feels a glorious stirring of the senses, a rejection of poisonous inhibition, and a fecund motion of the soul.
Except, of course, the problems tend to take the edge off the pleasure. I mean, with no proper facilities.
All the glorious trials of youth. When I was a lad, I'd rocket off on my tandem was Wrigglesworth, and we'd just ride, and at night would find some barn and fall asleep with the perfumes of nature sighing on our skin.
All this said, staring at Marwood, he responds with an awful begummed smile. Withnail leans into Monty with an air of delicacy.
Would it be in bad form to plagiarise the toast?
Depends entirely on the quality of the wine. In this instant, most certainly it would not.
Withnail tops up the glasses. They're raised to the point of contact.
In that case, to a delightful weekend in the country.
Both Monty and Marwood are decidedly surprised by the proposal. Marwood can't believe his ears, and Monty can't believe his luck. He draws Marwood into his pally conspiracy.
Splendid. We expected a volley of argument concerning Mr. Redgrave.
Here's one of them. Marwood's voice is as brittle as glass.
You're forgetting Jake, aren't you?
Not another word. Jake can wait too.
Jake isn't a friend, Monty. I hope to avoid telling you this. I didn't want to alarm you, but there's a psychotic on the prowl outside this house.
The news squashes appetite and pleasure. Monty turns to Withnail.
Ask him whether I exaggerate. He's threatened us and he's dangerous.
Is this true?
Withnail lowers his fork, throws away a light smile, dilutes it.
Well, there's this local type hanging about. A poacher. Got into a tiff with him, and he threatened me with a dead fish.
His tone proves there are different ways of telling the truth.
Yes, it was rather amusing actually. When you came in, we thought it was him. And we thought you, scraping your boots, was him sharpening his knife.
Oh, how delicious.
Absolutely fucking hilarious. Marwood can't take any more of this. Fun reverts to feeding. Monty beams across with his utensils poised over the lamb as though about to play a tune on it.
More meat.
No, more meat.
No thanks, I'm going for some air.
Exterior gardens, cottage, day. Marwood sits next to the little stream. The sun is setting. The kind of visuals that get into adverts. Withnail approaches from the cottage smoking a Turkish cigarette.
I know what you're thinking, but I had no alternative. The old bugger's come a long way and I didn't want to put the wind up in.
Your sensitivity overwhelms me. And if you think you're going to get a weekend's indulgence up here at his expense, which will mean him having a weekend's indulgence up here at my expense, you've got another thing coming.
I give you my word. We'll leave first thing tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? What about tonight?
He's not going to try anything.
Of course he is. Why do you think he's up here? He means business.
Withnail attempts to lighten the situation, prevaricating and concealing it.
Anyway, he sent out to tell you that the coffee's ready.
I couldn't drink it. I've got a cramp in the mouth from grinning.
Well, stop smiling at him.
I can't help it. I'm so uptight with him. I can't stop myself.
Interior living room, cottage, evening. Withnail's drinking coffee. Marwood is staring into his cup. Monty's arsehole on his feet and noticing the ceiling.
Oh shit.
Laissez-moi respiratoire. Long terms. Thank you. L'autre. Oh god, I can't
You're
my French is
Oh,
awful.
God, Baudelaire.
brings back such memories of Oxford. Oh, Oxford.
The orbs refocus. He heads for the tub with the walking sticks.
Halcyon days, the gentle ego making art, the brute selfishness.
Exterior mountainside, over lake, evening, a massive panorama with 3 tiny figures in the far distance.
Followed by yet another anecdote about his sensitive crimes in a punt with a chap called Norman who had red hair. A book of poetry stained with the butter drips from crumpets.
Exterior tracked mountainside evening, a pair of field glasses slung around his neck, a walking stick in his fist, intoxicated with alcohol, or the gloaming, or both. Monty leads down the track with Withnail and Marwood following.
I often wonder where Norman is now. Probably wintering with his mother in Guildford. A cat and rain. Vim under the sink and both bars on.
He turns towards the lake, hits a sheep with some Latin.
But old now. Old. There can be no true beauty without decay.
A requiem for England.
Marwood doesn't understand this, doesn't like the sound of it.
How right you are. How right you are. We live in a kingdom of reigns where royalty comes in gangs. Come on, lads. Let's go home. The sky's beginning to bruise. Night will fall and we'll be forced to camp.
He takes off down the track. Marwood forcefully detains Withnail.
He's having your bed, alright? That's the condition, alright?
All right.
I want the room with the lock. Agree to that or I'm off.
All right. All right.
The cottage emerges from behind a knoll of rock, about 60 yards away. A suspicious figure is moving in the gloom of the garden. The view stops Withnail in his track. Jake is back.
Oh fuck.
The news is instantly communicated to Monty, also stops in his tracks. Everyone is concerned, except Marwood, who's delighted.
Good old JK. I told you, he's back. And that's precisely the reason I'm off to London.
No old Vic when we feel like it now. Withnail has the winder. He stares at Monty, who squints through binoculars towards the house.
Let's have a good old laugh, eh, Withnail? Old Jake's back, eh?
He's back. He's on his way. He's leaving.
Marwood takes command. Withnail and Monty follow him.
Come on, let's pack up. We'll get out of here before it gets dark.
Exterior courtyard, cottage evening. The gloom thickens, mostly in Monty. They creep the yard and discover a hair hanging on the back door, accompanied by a note.
Here, Jake.
Suddenly, everyone is back on holiday, except Marwood. They vanish inside. Interior boudoir, cottage, night, candlelight and a blazing fire. A good Bordeaux and celery and Stilton. Ivan Ever singing Will Gather Lilacs on the telephone.
Nice.
This could be 1932.
Oh, brilliant.
Marwood looks worried. Withnail looks drunk. Monty looks artful. They are playing 7-card draw poker. Half crowns and bottle tops.
Yes.
Monty bets from his stack. Monty's encouraging Withnail to drink while Marwood's glass is filled under protest. The only thing he gets from Monty is smiles. Uptight. No smiles back. Something going on here. Marwood doesn't got the cut of it. Maybe it's imagination, but Withnail and Monty seem prepared to giggle for the most trivial of reasons. Monty deals the cards with a quip for Marwood's patently bad hand.
Looking a bit lonely, isn't he?
Keen eye, fan eye, defend them.
Monty's mouth puckers with mirth. A quid for Marwood. It hits like a punchline. Creases Monty and he and Withnail simmer in amusement. Marwood is amused. Face like a rock. Bets are placed. The rumours focus fire dissolve. Interior boudoir, cottage night. Monty is cranking at the gramophone. Both the perno and the candles have gone down several inches.
Oh shit.
A huge stack of beer bottle tops and half grounds in front of Withnail.
Shit.
He is ferociously drunk. Monty returns to the table. Withnail's deal. He can't make it. Marwood immediately gets up, manoeuvres Withnail to the couch for the bastard's renegade. What's that? Renegade?
Renegade.
Yeah. Offers resistance. Wants to go upstairs.
I think we'd better get him to bed.
No, he's down here. You're in my room, I'm in his room, and he's down here.
I wouldn't dream of depriving the poor fellow of his bed, and especially in that condition.
It's agreed. It's what he wants.
No, I don't. I want to go to bed.
And that's precisely where he's heading. Despite Marwood's efforts, he barges for the stairs. Marwood adopts a sort of instant homosexuality. With big wrists and a pink voice.
Alright then, lovey, come on. Get to bed. Early night will do us good. Night, Monty.
It's weird as
Brown
fuck.
boy heads up the stairs. Withnail gurgles as they climb.
I want to be alone. I want to be alone.
Interior, top of the stairs, cottage, night. His chances are slim. Marwood has turned into some kind of Nancy boy. The theory is sleep with Withnail equals safety. The landing creaks under Monty's feet. Marwood has become quite lovey-dovey.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Monty. We're all right now. I've got a candle in here.
Cradling Withnail, he leads him into the bedroom. He dumps the vile corpse on his bed. Monty's still at the door as Marwood flits out.
I'll say good night now, Monty.
He wraps past into his bedroom, makes the bed in under 4 seconds, grabs item of underwear, heads back to Withnail's room. Whose shadows in the lamplight? Monty has just locked Withnail's door. Key into the pocket, Mr. Badger and Mr. Moll. Marwood is horrified instantly and ex-homosexual. Monty doesn't seem to notice.
I think he'd better sleep alone tonight.
Marwood's mind races, but his feet won't move. He stutters back.
He doesn't want to sleep with you.
Alright then. You're in here. I'll get a blanket. I'll have the couch.
His disappearance into the bedroom is so brief it isn't worth mentioning. He reappears, passes Monty, descends the stairs.
I'll say good night then.
You've already said it. Twice.
He doesn't say it again. Hot puts it through the stairwell door. Interior boudoir, cottage, night. Marwood closes the door behind him. It opens again almost instantly. Monty expands into the room.
Jesus.
What is it, Monty? I'm very tired. I need to get to sleep.
Monty's fluids are on the move.
Jesus.
He glides gently round the room.
But not that tired, eh?
Apparently he is, quietly making his bed up. Monty closes on him.
Are you a sponge or a stone?
What do you mean?
Do you like to experience all facets of life, or do you shut yourself off from new experience?
I voted Conservative.
Are you faithful?
To whom?
Faithfulness isn't selective.
No, I quite agree. It's more a question of selecting to whom one will be faithful.
And have you selected?
I'm terribly tired.
I've been watching you all evening. You've been avoiding my eyes, haven't you?
As offhandedly as possible in reference to these bulbous spheres.
Your eyes?
Marwood's legs quiver like a gnat's leg in death throes. Tries to articulate but can't.
At luncheon you could hardly take your gaze from mine. This evening you'd hardly looked at me.
He's looking at him now, in alarm.
What did he say to you?
Nothing.
You can tell me, you know.
I assure you nothing. Look here, Monty. I really must go to bed.
Monty constructs a smile and then separates it with his tongue.
Yes, you mustn't you?
Suddenly his waistcoat is off, also bow tie.
Off you go then. I shall sleep here. Won't be the first time I've been left with the couch.
Marwood wears diving boots to the door. A second later he's gone. Interior bedroom, cottage, night. All the usual noises of the night, a door banging in the wind, an owl hooting 5 miles away, a footstep on the bottom stair. The room is pitch black, just a hint of light through the window. The footsteps contain a mount, continue to mount, slow, heavy treads. Marwood is asleep, and they begin, he's awake by the time they reach his door. The doorknob turns, a chair holds it for a while, and fractures slowly under the determination of the intruder. Panic in the dark. He is in. Marwood has no defence other than to pretend to be asleep.
Boy, I know you're not asleep, boy.
Monty moves to the bed, sits at the end, his voice is quivering.
But he is. I've been into his room. He won't hear a thing.
A key descends on the bedside table, owls hooting and snoring.
I know you're not asleep, boy.
No, I'm not, Monty. What do you want?
He snaps up, a match strikes, a candle lights. Horror.
Good God in heaven.
A huge woman is sitting at the end of the bed.
I had to come. I tried not to. Oh, how I tried not to.
Monty isn't actually in drag. First glance, and the outfit looks like drag. Long paisley silk dressing gown and velvet slippers. A bit of makeup, nothing ostentatious. A smudge of rouge.
Look here, Monty, this is something I have to explain to you.
You don't need to explain. He's told me everything. He told me that first day you came to Chelsea.
What? What did he tell you?
He told me about your arresting Tottenham Court Road. He told me about your problems, how you feel, your desires.
What problems?
You're a toilet trader.
He told you that?
Yeah. Monty manages somehow to motor quickly up the bed on his arse.
No.
You mustn't blame him. You mustn't blame yourself. I know how you feel, how difficult it is. And that's why you mustn't hold back. Ruin your youth as I nearly did over Eric. It's like a tide. Give in to it, boy. Give in to it. It's society's crime, not ours.
I'm not homosexual, Monty.
Yes, you are. Of course you are. You're simply blackmailing your emotions to avoid the realities of your relationship with him.
What are you talking about?
You love him, and it isn't his fault he cannot love you any more than it is my fault that I adore you.
That'll do for Marwood. He leaps from the bed, cloaks himself in a blanket and bolts for the door. Monty is as fast as he is.
Can't we allow ourselves just this one moment of indiscretion?
No.
Sorry. He would never know.
I don't care what he knows. You've got to go, Monty. You've got to get out.
He tries to open the door to get out himself. Monty isn't having it. Marwood is inhibited with the fear of dropping the blanket. Bit of a scuffle. He rushes through the room with Monty in pursuit. His impassioned voice rises with an overload of emotion.
If you want to humiliate me. I adore you.
Marwood backs off. Monty nails him into a corner. An owl hoots.
Tell him if you must. I no longer care. I mean to have you, even if it must be burglary.
Buggery. A rapid and almost indecipherable series of protests from Marwood, all to no effect. Not much like to see what's happening, but lips seek lips. A sheer expansive bosom make resistance impossible. Marwood takes what he can, grabs Monty's ear and screams at him.
It's not me. It's him. He lied to you. We're in an affair. He have been for years, but he doesn't want you to know. He doesn't want anyone to know.
Monty seems to deflate a little. Marwood still clings to an ear.
We're both in it. We're obsessed with each other, but he's ashamed. Ashamed. He refuses to come out and accept what he is. That's why he's rejecting me while you're here.
The owl's hooting. Two naked men in the corner. The bubble bursts.
On my life, Monty, this is the first night we haven't slept together in 6 years. I can't cheat on him. It would kill him.
He told me you were in purgatory because he couldn't love you.
He's lying. Lying.
A moment later, they are retogged in their respective garments.
Oh, my boy. Had I known, I'd never have attempted to come between you.
I know that, Monty. I respect you for your sensitivity.
A period of sterile atmospherics. Marwood hastens to the door.
I thank you for it. But you must leave.
Yes. You had better go to him.
I intend to. This instant.
Interior bedroom, cottage night. The door flies open. Marwood barges in, white front and an oil lamp.
Withnail, you bastard. Wake up.
Withnail, 40 a day. Withnail's 40 a day tongue hangs from his mouth, jewelled with a morbid sequin of spittle. His snoring enrages the man in pants.
Wake up, you bastard, or I'll burn the fucking bed down.
He moves in with his lamp, a voice muffled with sleep and blankets.
I deny all accusations. What do you want?
Marwood grabs his shroud of overcoat and blankets, wrenches him to the floor. Withnail stirs, a waxy body and shotgun revealed.
I've just narrowly avoided having a buggering. I've come in here with the express intention of wishing one on you. Having said that, I'm now going to leave for London.
Withnail regards this threat with enough seriousness to sit up.
Hold on. Don't want to let your imagination run away with you.
Imagination? I've just finished fighting a naked man. How dare you tell him that I'm a toilet trader?
Tactical necessity.
Withnail scratches his head into focus, makes an inspection of the candle saucer, finds the dog end, lights it, a deep inhalation.
If I hadn't told him you were active, we'd never have got the cottage.
I'd never have wanted it. Not with him in it.
A whine of rattling mucus, an evil cough. Withnail stubs the dog.
God, that hurt. I never thought he'd come all this way.
Monty, he'd go to New York.
The calculated risk.
What is all this tactical necessity and calculated risk? This is me, naked in a corner, and how dare you tell him that I love you, and how dare you tell him that you rejected me?
An almost imperceptible smile stagnates on Withnail's mouth.
How dare you tell him that?
Sorry about that. I got a bit carried away. Sort of said it without thinking.
Well, let me tell you something, Withnail. If he comes into my room again, it's murder.
He grabs a shotgun, heads to the door, before the slam.
And you'll be held responsible in the law.
Exterior valley, over lake, day, a big view, sunlight through thunderclouds, black edged with gold, lightning on the horizon, a rumble of thunder, both it and the crow crag several miles away. Marwood's voice seeps in over the cottage.
And I cannot help but hear your unfortunate exchange, which I believe was ostensibly caused by me. I do assure you that it was not my intention, nor may I add that I expect to be so empty a valediction as that which circumstances necessitate.
Interior living room, cottage, day. Withnail is up to his elbows in lunch. Cold lamb, hot potatoes, plenty of enthusiasm and wine. All things that turned out rather well. Marwood sits opposite reading from Monty's note.
Perhaps it is appropriate justice for the eavesdropper that he should leave as his trade determines, in secrecy and in the dead of night. I am yours ever faithfully, Montague H. Withnail.
An instant of lighting, Marwood crumples the note for the fire.
Poor old bastard.
Withnail charges his maw with lamb, talks through a mouthful.
I would say that represents a degree of hypocrisy I have hitherto suspected in you, but not noticed due to highly evasive skill.
Grand slam of thunder, a moment later it's pissing a monsoon.
By Christ, Withnail, you'll suffer for this. What you've done will have to be paid for.
Withnail goes about his grub with a grin, examines the wine label.
I'll say one thing for Monty. He keeps a sensational cellar.
A toast to Monty is offered, interrupted by a knock on the door. Infinite possibilities. Has Monty come back? Marwood walks into the kitchen. Withnail staring after him, opens the back door. A dishevelled postman outside. A telegram handed across. Marwood closes the door, opens the envelope, turns to the living room. Withnail's turn to read the telegram. A smile, without charity.
Well done.
Doesn't mean to say I've got it. Probably just want to see me again.
High voltage lightning.
Well, that settles it then.
Withnail's mouth takes a stuffing. Marwood fights back, yawns.
We're going to have to leave immediately.
What?
Get your kids together. I'm leaving in half an hour.
And he heads to the stairs with Withnail mouthing after him.
Half an hour? Don't be ridiculous. I need at least an hour for lunch.
Exterior, motorway, night. Not much traffic about. Thick rain keeps the jag around 70.
You've got a truck coming up. About 200 yards, followed by a slow right-hander.
I can't keep this up. This is insanity.
Interior, Jaguar, sedan, motorway, night. Withnail has virtually transferred the dining table to his lap. Here is the leg of lamb, potatoes, knife and fork, Bordeaux and a bottle of gin. Marwood's vision is almost entirely obscured. He has to depend on Withnail, who navigates between mouthfuls.
Stay in this lane. Bear right, bear right.
What lane? I can't see the fucking lane.
Bear right, bear right.
Tail lights of the truck and near miss. That dreadful sound of a hooter being absorbed by speed. Marwood takes an unnerving.
Right, that's it. Next garage, I've got to find a windscreen wiper. Plus, I've got to get some sleep.
Withnail doesn't seem concerned. Cackles through a hit of gin. Exterior motorway service area night. This is a tourist frightener. A giant bald egg announced the name of the dump. Not much action. The Jag cruises in looking for the garage section. There isn't one. Marwood pulls over. Interior Jaguar car park.
New.
Service area, night. Marwood kills the engine, yawns, exhausted, runs hands through his hair. Withnail continues his dinner. Rain batters the roof.
Wait me when it stops.
He finds pills in the glove compartment, starts climbing his seat.
What am I supposed to do?
Marwood gets in the back of the car, stretches along the seat.
Finish your dinner and drop us some Monto.
Marwood grabs the gin bottle, sinks a mouthful to take his pill.
Didn't know.
Interior Jaguar sedan streets, West London. Dawn. Mr. Hendricks is once again responsible for this music. It cuts to the sequence of so brilliantly it is pointless to attempt a description, although one word might help: anarchy. Marwood is stretched on the back seat. Intermittent patches of orange light wash his face. He wakes slowly, looking up at the street lights whizzing by. A moment to work it out. Still in the back seat. The car's going like the clappers, but he isn't driving it. Fighting a pullover, he sits and looks over the seat. Withnail's at the wheel trying to ram a cripple car. There isn't a cripple car. It's one of those three-wheel bubble things with a name like a plate full of spaghetti. There's a lot of coming into focus at once. 1, Withnail's drunk. 2, he hasn't got a license. 3, there's a terrified middle-aged woman in this glass bubble trying to escape. 4, the Jaguar sounds fucked. 5, they're roaring down a slope under the Chiswick flyover.
What's going on?
I'm trying to run this bastard!
Marwood directs her eyes at the quarry. She's revving to get away.
Watch her! Watch her!
Are you